Have you ever tried to save battery life by doing everything right, but your phone still runs out of battery quickly? Well, get ready. Many popular tips that seem to help, in fact, only make the situation worse. Turning your phone off all the time, using vibration, or even using automatic brightness. All of these things can be draining your battery without you realizing it. The truth is that your phone is always working behind the scenes. And while you try to help, you may be accelerating its wear and tear without even realizing it. But today you will discover practical curiosities and simple strategies that make a real difference in your day-to-day life. No more carrying a charger in your pocket or relying on an outlet wherever you go. Let's get straight to the point. How to make your phone last longer with actions that really work. Many people are easily impressed by technical specifications, but not all that glitters is gold. A cell phone with a 4K screen seems like a luxury, right? But in practice, it's just a waste. With the naked eye, no one notices this difference on such a small screen. It's like putting nitro in a shopping cart. It seems powerful, but it doesn't make sense in real use. Curious. Even the biggest video producers don't prioritize 4K on cell phones. And here comes another curious point, the so-called automatic brightness. Everyone activates it thinking it will save battery, and that's where the illusion lies. In practice, the system is constantly adjusting the brightness, consuming more energy than if you simply left it at a fixed average level. If you want a practical tip, manually adjust the brightness and keep it at 40% during daily use. Your wallet and your battery will thank you. It's that simple. Now, let's talk about the underrated villains, plastic cell phones. Many people turn their noses up at it, thinking that only glass or metal are premium. But you know that drop that breaks hearts. Plastic provides better cushioning and also makes the phone lighter in your pocket and hand. And just look at the irony. Several elite brands have already gone back to using plastic and now call it reinforced polycarbonate. Marketing is everything. And that's the big curiosity. The market sells promises that shine on paper, but don't always make sense in everyday life. The secret is to stop falling for the more, the better talk and focus on what really delivers value. And since we're talking about smart use, let's talk about something that many people do thinking it helps, but only gets in the way. You know that habit of turning off your cell phone all the time to save? Well, it seems logical, but it's a trap. The process of turning it on and off requires a spike in energy that, in the end, consumes more than simply leaving the device in standby mode. It's like turning off a car at a traffic light thinking it's being environmentally friendly, when in fact it's using more fuel to turn it back on. This curiosity can catch many people by surprise. When the cell phone is turned off, it interrupts processes, closes tasks, disconnects networks, and then has to restart everything from scratch. This includes loading the system, background apps, cache updates. All of this costs energy. It's a technical effort that goes unnoticed, but it drains the battery without the person realizing it. Now, if you're only going to use your cell phone again in a few hours, or you're not going to use it until the next day, then it makes sense to turn it off. But if it's just for a meeting or a half-hour nap, the best thing to do is activate the energy-saving mode or simply leave the screen off. An even better alternative, put it in airplane mode or activate sleep mode if your device has it. Small adjustments, big difference. It's like that. We think we're doing the right thing, but deep down it's just another one of those automatic decisions we learn through word of mouth, without checking if it really works. Curious, right? And since we're talking about smart usage modes, there's a specific function that few people activate, but can save a lot of battery in the right situations. Few people understand the true power of airplane mode, and that's why it ends up being underestimated. But get this, when your cell phone is in an area with a weak signal, it uses up to twice as much energy trying to find a transmission tower. It's like someone lost in the desert screaming for help. The weaker the signal, the more effort it takes to be heard. And guess what? This drains your battery mercilessly. Airplane mode cuts out all these automatic searches. Goodbye Wi-Fi, goodbye mobile network, goodbye Bluetooth. And with that comes savings. If you're in a place with no signal, like in elevators, tunnels, airplanes, obviously, or even in rural areas, Activating this mode can make your charge last longer, much longer. It's that pocket trick that seems silly, but turns into gold when you're away from the charger. You know that moment when you're watching a video you've already downloaded, reading a PDF, or playing offline games. In those moments, airplane mode is your best friend. And the most interesting thing, many people think that it only serves to block calls or notifications, when in fact it is one of the greatest allies of the battery. All this without affecting anything you are already doing offline. And look, if you want to increase your savings even further, use airplane mode in conjunction with reduced screen brightness and activated dark mode. There you have it, the ultimate combination in energy efficiency. And since we are entering the world of functions that seem small, but wreak havoc on consumption, there is one in particular that is always activated in the background, and almost no one pays attention to it. Now, remember this interesting fact. Even when you think you're saving battery, your phone may be silently consuming energy because of GPS. That's right. Many apps continue to track your location even when you're not running them. They do this to improve the experience, but deep down, it's like leaving a faucet dripping all the time without realizing it. Want a practical example? Weather apps, maps, social networks, and even camera apps sometimes access your location unnecessarily. The secret here is to open the settings, go to Location Services, and review them one by one. Allow access only while in use, or simply turn off GPS when you're not using any apps that really need it. The funny thing is that these savings can be huge. Many people think that it's only big screens and high-resolution videos that drain the battery, but this background tracking is a silent thief. And here's the thing, even with GPS turned off, you can still use maps and basic location if you're connected to Wi-Fi. It's just a matter of knowing how to handle it. And while we're on the subject of features that seem useful but hide pitfalls, there's another feature that many people turn on without thinking twice, thinking they're being discreet, but that actually takes up more than it seems. Here's an interesting fact. Vibrate mode, which many people turn on thinking it's more discreet and economical, actually consumes more energy than regular ringtones. That's right, that bzzz sound your phone makes when it vibrates in your pocket needs a small motor to be activated. And guess what? This small motor works hard. In terms of energy, it's like swapping a light notification for a hammering on the system. In quiet environments, like libraries or meetings, vibrating may seem like a good solution. But if the goal is to save battery, the smartest thing to do would be to activate silent mode or a low-volume ringtone. And for those who receive a lot of notifications per day, the savings accumulated throughout the week can be surprising. Have you ever imagined turning off vibration and gaining 10% more useful battery at the end of the day? If you want to go a little further, it's also worth reviewing your app settings. Social networks, messengers, and even games activate vibrations by default. Go to the notification settings and disable the ones that don't make sense. It's like the idea, every detail counts. And in the digital world, small adjustments can turn into big gains, especially when the battery starts to complain in the late afternoon. It's funny how the simplest things can be the ones that consume the most, right? And now that you understand how even the smallest functions impact your cell phone's performance, you can look at your device in a different light. But don't worry, there's one final detail that can turn all of this into a practical lesson. Now tell me, how many of these habits were sabotaging you without you even realizing it? It's time to stop following bad advice and start using your cell phone intelligently, because those who really understand how technology works are ahead. Just imagine not having to rely on power outlets everywhere, or being desperate with 10% battery at 3 p.m. You can change that today. The question is, will you continue doing what everyone else does? Or will you apply what few people know? Which of these curiosities did you like the most? Did you already apply any of them, or have you discovered something new now? Comment below, because I want to hear about your experience. And you can bet that your question could be the topic of the next video. And of course, if this content opened your mind, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Here we deliver the kind of knowledge that most people don't even imagine exists, and that can even transform the way you use your cell phone.